Hi, my name is Velvet. I'm a legacy pain patient, a pain patient advocate, and a person with a disability in Northern California, and I want to talk about malingering today. Why malingering? And what is malingering? Malingering is when a patient intentionally exaggerates a disease, a disorder, or a symptom of a disease disorder to gain something. And that gain could be permanent disability. It could be to get out of military service. And yes, it could be to get certain medications. But what's the prevalence was my question. And frankly, it was kind of hard to find. That's why I have just a search in the background right now. You can see here that it says 1% in psychiatric patients, 5% in military personnel, and 10 to 20 in medico-legal cases. Those are cases where you're applying for disability or you're suing a company for hurting you, car accident, etc. So how prevalent is it really? That question was hard to answer. I wanted to post studies and articles written from reputable sources about the general population, but what I found had been studied in regards to malingering is primary psychiatric and medico-legal. Forensic as well. Things that applied to suing someone for a car accident and claiming to have pain you don't have, things that applied to exaggerating mental health issues or saying you have voices when you don't. By no means am I accusing people. These are just the studies that were done. I found it nearly impossible to find any kind of data on just general patients and their rates of malingering. So all I could locate is it's between 1 to 8%, 8% being the highest. Almost every time that had to do with psychiatric patients, but it's the best I could find at this point. I'm not a doctor. I do not have access to their databases, and I'm no longer in college. I graduated, so I don't have access to my databases that I could use. Nonetheless, we arrive at this situation where pain patients on this app at a rate of over 90% have all experienced some form of being accused of drug seeking, which falls under the umbrella of malingering. And yet, the studies that I located basically said it's 1% to 8% at max. Why are we all being accused of this then? Because even if it is 8%, the percentage of pain patients within that 8% is low. Let's say we're 2% of all malingerers. Why are 90% of us being accused of it? Look behind me and read this really fast. This is what a doctor said to new incoming doctors. Malingering is generally accepted to be rare and should be a fringe interest. That's the pink. It is not common and it is toxic to patients. So tell me your story of being accused, because we've all been there.